Hello. So today I'd like to talk to you about viscosity classification system, the ISO viscosity classification system. So a lot of people have troubles in remembering the different ISO grades and what they mean. So I'm just going to tell you first of all a quick trick I use to remember. So the grades to remember are 10, 15, 22, 32, 46, and 68. I'll repeat that. That's 10, 15, 22, 32, 46, and 68. And all the other grades are multiples of that. So you can have a 10 becomes 100, a 15 becomes 150, a 22 becomes 220, etc. Equally, when you go down, you can equally you have the ISO grades as well. When you have an ISO grade 32 becomes 3, or an ISO grade 68 becomes 7 because 6.8 rounded becomes 7. So that's a quick way to remember them. But what does a viscosity classification mean? So the way that viscosity is measured is that we measure it at 40 degrees Celsius. So all the viscosity for ISO VG grades are measured at 40 degrees Celsius. Now, at 40 degrees, we indicate what temperature it should be. And in this case, it will be that viscosity plus or minus 10%. So if we have a ISO VG32 at 40 degrees Celsius, it will be plus or minus 10% of that. So an example, if we had an ISO VG100, if you had you could have a limit, bottom limit of 90 up to 110, so plus or minus 10%. Obviously, if it goes outside of that, then it's outside the specification. Now, it's worth remembering this is actually the manufacturing specification guide. This is not necessarily for in use. So you can have a product that is an ISO VG100, but when it actually is in use, it could be only, say, 91 or 92, so quite on the low end of the spec. But when you actually go to test it as time goes on, it may drop and actually go beneath the spec. So what you need to look at is both the new oil viscosity plus also the viscosity of the grade specification. So I hope that's helped you a little bit about understanding viscosity classification systems.